Holla ballers, what's going on? It's Preacher. I'm bringing you a weekly update. I'm going to try and do this every Sunday so you guys can get up to date with everything that's going to happen in the next week. Make sure you guys are aware of everything that's going to happen. So, first things first is patch 5.04. Is on the PTR, which means if you don't have access to Mr. Pandaria Beta, you can go ahead and go on the free PTR. All you do is you log into your Battle.net account, and you'll see the PTR is available for download. You can copy your characters, you can create a new one there, that kind of shit is all up for you. So you can go and try out your classes right now for free. It's the public test realm, it's completely free. You don't need to have Mr. Pandaria Beta or anything like that. In fact, if you have Mr. Pandaria Beta, you will not be able to join the PTR. This is for people who cannot get into the MOP Beta. They can go out, they can try their new classes, they can get everything sort of set up, get a good feel for the changes that are coming. Really cool that this is actually out now, and maybe we're going to see some sort of announcement of a release date. I expect it's pretty much going to be releasing Mr. Pandaria. I mean, pretty much exactly when Guild Wars 2 is coming out, because what they want is people to go, I kind of want to play Guild Wars 2, I kind of want to try it out, but what they're also thinking is, well, what we want to happen is Mr. Pandaria launches, we want people playing our game, we want them leveling, they want them getting set up, we want all that to happen. They can't ignore their own characters. Very good business sense. I expect that's what's going to happen. So, if you're thinking about when is Mr. Pandaria going to launch, just look at the Guild Wars 2 release date. It's going to be around there. Blizzard always seems to find a way of time and get to coincide with some big release of another game, which is pretty cool. What are we doing on the channel this week, and where have you been? Well, we had some bad news this week. Our grandfather did die on Thursday. That was pretty tragic. It was very, very sudden. It was within, an hour of getting the phone call that he was ill. He was dead, and we went and saw that. But that's nothing to do with you guys. That's all cool. What are we doing on the channel this week? Well, I'm going to be covering Dead Space for you. I'm going to be trying out doing a game review in my own style. I've been working on this now for about a week or so. Is how I wanted to present to you a gaming review suggestion. A review is pretty accurate, although I'm not going to score in a game or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the game, and it's going to be sort of called Years Behind, because these are games that are way that have been out for a long ass time, but we never have time to play these games because we're always playing sort of World of Warcraft in essence, so we might not have had the money to pay for a AAA title back then. Now we can actually get them really cheap via Steam, Gamersgate, or Gofka Games, anything like that. All these websites that offer game downloads, we can actually pick these games up really cheaply. And as technology hasn't advanced amazingly in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, we've seen some pretty cool advancements, but overall it's not like when we went from the 90s to the 2000s, the game difference was absolutely insane. It's not been like that. Games has been sort of halted, mainly due to the console stuff. Consoles not getting any big updates mean that the PC hasn't really excelled in gaming terms as they need to be ported to the PC, etc. and all that kind of shit. So the games actually still look fantastic. So I've played through Dead Space, I'm doing Fallout 3, I'm doing Dead Space 2, I'm doing about 4 or 5 other games that I picked up over the last few days, getting through those, and I'm playing them to completion. Whether or not that will continue, as some of these games are really immense that I've picked up, we'll see. We'll see about that. Next Saturday, the web show is going to feature our very first pilot episode of the Preach and Go show, which is actually going to be an interactive quiz show with you guys, okay? We're actually going to try and bring in the subscribers into the game. How well that will work out, I don't know. It depends on you guys, okay? The only people who can realistically ruin it are other people, if they, people decide to troll the quiz or anything like that. So on preachgaming.com, we've got a thread up, which is, do you want to be a part of this? You have to be able to install TeamSpeak, you have to be able to speak, of course, and you have to be available for our web show, which is at the same time every other Saturday. And it's going to be a quiz show hosted by me and Ghost, and it's going to be not a serious quiz show at all, okay? It's going to be full of ridiculous challenges. We gave you a sample of those challenges at last week's web show, so if you've not seen that, go ahead and check it out. We did just ridiculous challenges. Those are going to be featured parts of this quiz show. We've also got all sorts of other stuff involving some Photoshop and other crazy stuff that's going on that's just going to be ridiculous, okay? It's all for fun. It's all for entertainment. There's no prizes, of course. We can't just send out prizes at the moment. We can't do that, so that's okay. After that, we're going to be full-on prep for Germany. We had a couple of donations from you guys, which was fantastic. We managed to pick up the battery pack. We're getting all that kind of stuff set up now. So we are able to be full frontal at Gamescom. And we think we're in good position as long as nothing else comes up. We should be fine and good to go on that. In terms of WoW content, you're going to get the latest what to do when the Pandaria patch lands. It looks like we're getting closer and closer and closer to that. So what to do when the pandas are launching, we're going to be looking at that again. We're going to play some StarCraft 2. We're also going to be doing a couple of mailboxes. We're also going to be doing the latest votes, which is Feral Druids and some Holy Priests. Maybe even I'll throw in the Holy Paladin, because those were pretty close as well. So we already had Fury Warrior last week. So we've got Feral Druid, Cat, Holy Priest, and probably Holy Paladin. And I'm going to put up the latest vote. Round about Wednesday, I'm going to put the latest vote for you guys to go ahead and vote on the next games. That's going to be all good as well. The other thing we've been working on, which we've struggled with due to technical issues, is something called the Daily Preach, okay? The Daily Preach is going to be a 5 to 10 minute show that I do live at 5 p.m. GMT every single day. I'm going to try and launch it tomorrow. I'm going to be working today. I did promise myself, after all the stuff I've been through this week, not to work today, but it actually takes my mind off things. So I'm going to be working today to try and resolve all the technical issues we've had with producing that show. Quite a few of you have been tuning in who follow me on Twitch. When they see me, I'm live streaming and have seen the issues we've had. We've had some various audio issues and all sorts of kinds of stuff like that. We're going to be doing a Daily Preach where I bring you all the latest gaming news that's happened on that day. So some days might be slower than others, but I'm mixing that up with interesting YouTube comments that I get on a daily basis. There's already someone who tries to troll the channel. If you don't know, I get sort of 200, 300 comments a day through videos which are up there. So every video shows me the latest comment in my comment section. So I just flick through those and I see the most ridiculous comments I can find. And we'll do a bit of a name and shame, all for good fun on that. And it's also the place where I'm going to be answering your questions. That is where I'm going to do it. Instead of doing... my mailbox thing was very too similar to Total Biscuits. I didn't want that. It needs to be my own style. It felt like it was getting too similar to that. So I've decided to do it live. I'm going to do it live at 5 p.m. every single day. 5 or 10 minutes. You guys can tune in. And I will, maybe if there's a lot of guys turning up to this because it's on a regular daily basis, I might extend it to about 20 minutes and take some live questions and feed them back to you as well. So that's all coming up this week. I want to keep you up to date with what's happened. We're going to start work on everything on Monday. I'm going to take the rest of the day off and just work on some technical issues, which is really boring stuff, that kind of stuff. If you are going to play the Mr. Pandaria 5.0 for PTR and you're not sure exactly what the hell's happened to your class, we've done most class guides now. We have done most class guides. So I'm going to stick a link in the back for the central hub where you guys can actually just go ahead and pick which class you want to follow. There's a few missing, like monks are missing, but they're not in patch 5.0. There's a couple of rogue specs missing, 1 or 2 pre-specs, things like that. There's a couple missing, but we will get those out in the next couple of weeks, and then you'll be fully up to date. So everything should be cool and gravy. So there's your update for today, guys. It's Sunday. Enjoy the day. Have a great relaxing day. I won't be. There's heroic raid testing that's going on tonight and tomorrow. Now, I can't live stream that for you guys. Although some of you guys are asking, why can't you live stream it? There's people are live streaming it. It's purely methods rules. Obviously, we're aiming for world first. Now, whereas there's a lot of people who are managing to find 10 people and get into the dungeon, that's all very well and good. No problem with that at all. They can go ahead and live stream. We tend to be able to maybe push a little bit harder and maybe kill some bosses. So I know that when we killed Feng the Accursed, on what day was that? On Friday, about 1 a.m. we managed to we have 3 groups running. We managed to kill Feng the Accursed, and then literally he was deactivated the moment after. We didn't get another pull in after one of the groups down Feng. So it's pretty much the case of if we are killing the bosses, we've come up with a strategy that we're happy with, or one of the groups has come up with a strategy that they're happy with, and that's all good. That is fine. If there is any more normal content, Blizzard has said this, okay? After the 10-player heroic testing is done, and they're doing a lot of bosses very quickly. If I just look at Sunday, today, we have 2 bosses tonight. We've got one starting at 9 p.m. European time, and another one at 11 p.m. European time. We've got 2 bosses to do tonight. On Monday, another 2 bosses. Yesterday was 3 heroic bosses, and the day before there was another heroic bosses. So we're doing about 9 or 10 bosses in the over the last few days, including today and tomorrow, which means there's so much to get done. So we should be flying through the 10-player heroic stuff pretty soon. I imagine by the end of probably next weekend, we'll have done every 10-player heroic boss. Then they're going to start 25-man normal. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. And then we've got 25-player heroic coming after that. So still a lot of testing to be done. The 25 normal stuff, I'll happily live stream for you guys and talk to you about what I think about the fights. I'm actually looking forward to the 25-player stuff. The 10-player stuff is all very well and good. But what tends to happen is we either have 30 plus people, so that's 3 groups, or we have 24 people, in which case that's 2 groups and 4 people have to sit out. And that's you know, that's kind of annoying when you turn up at 1 a.m. in the morning and then you kind of have to sit out and watch a private stream or something like that. But overall, it should be great. I want to see how they've balanced it for versus 10 versus 25. I think there's an interesting video there. The other thing that's happening, guys, if you're still listening, is I'm going to be doing an awards ceremony for the best classes of Cataclysm. I think that's important, is that we look at the sort of the history of how the classes have developed. And put that together in some sort of awards ceremony. I think me and Ghost might put something on, maybe wear a couple of suits, something like that. I'm looking to I'll put a thread up on preachgaming.com. You guys let me know what you think. And I'm looking for the most developed class and spec. So it's not a case of shamans, okay? It has to be like resto shamans, it has to be balanced druids. Who do you think has come on and been really strong from Cataclysm? Now, they don't have to have started well. In fact, a good turnaround story is always fantastic. I love it when a class starts off relatively weak and people suffer with the class, and then some people just hold on with hope. They love it. They're not a re-roller, they're not a flavour of the month person, and they stick with their class because they love it, and then by the end of the expansion, oh man, those guys are shining really brightly. I'm loving that. So we're going to do maybe a couple of categories. I haven't worked out the format exactly, but we'll definitely be throwing that out for you guys. Alright, ballers, you take it easy. Have a great Sunday. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow.